Hello, welcome to the Katy Sissine Show. I'm your host, Katy Sissine, and this week on the show, addressing the indoctrination of the nation, we will be discussing some, what I like to call, White House keeping updates, recent executive actions put forth by Trump that have sparked protests across the nation, the Berkeley protest, the rise of terrorist attacks globally and upon the West, and also we'll get into a little bit of the philosophy behind a big inspiration for the show from a book called The Closing of the American Mind, addressing how higher education has essentially failed democracy. So anyway, let's get started. We've got this great photo of Trump provided by Gage Skidmore. Gage Skidmore recently raised a lot of concern with professional political photographers recently, and I believe his photographs are even used on the Trump official website. Gage Skidmore started posting Flickr, he started posting his pictures on a photo sharing database, Flickr, very well known. We all know Flickr. We have all probably used it once or twice. And he puts them under the Creative Commons license so they can be used freely anywhere. So if you're interested in getting some political photography for your blog or whatnot, check out Gage Skidmore on Flickr. Now, yeah, I figured all that out with a recent talk that I had at Starbucks with a political photographer for the Associated Press. He revealed all this information to me and how all the photographers were so upset that he was releasing his great photography for free, which you can check out on his albums on Flickr, of course. So anyway, let's get to the White House keeping updates. We have Trump's cabinet approved so far. And we have, notably I'll mention Secretary of Defense, General James Mattis, General James Mattis. He was confirmed January 20th. And also Secretary of Homeland Security, retired General John Kelly was confirmed on January 20th. And Nikki Haley was confirmed as the U.S. Ambassador. And Rex Tillerson, last but not least, was confirmed February 1st. And that was a close vote between the senators on Rex Tillerson there. He squeaked by, but by his speeches, he seems to be a very eloquent, well-spoken, intelligent businessman and now politician. So he's making many people think, wow, maybe he should have run for presidency. So many senators, as the vote between the Senate goes to show, were very wary of Tillerson due to his ties to Russia in business with Exxon there, I suppose. Anyway, this is not in the cabinet, but Mike Pompeo was approved January 23rd as the new director of the Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA. And First Lady Melania appointed her chief of staff to the First Lady, Mrs. Lindsay Reynolds, and she also will serve as assistant to the president. The chief of staff, as we know, does not require Senate approval. And I would like to get into executive actions after that quick briefing on the cabinet update and whatnot that I have thus far. I would like to get into the executive actions proposed by Trump that have sparked protests. I'm referring to actually the one executive order in particular that is pausing immigration from select Muslim majority countries in order to establish a better vetting program, a stronger vetting program, and it's called an extreme vetting. I don't like the word extreme because I think it kind of, you know, it reminds me of, it's associated with bad things, extremism, just to name one word that's associated badly with extreme. So I like to call it a stronger system of vetting. And that's what we're looking to establish by pausing immigration. We all have time to develop that. So let's take a look at this video of Trump signing 2 executive actions, strengthening the military, along with the diplomatic force necessary to overcome terrorism upon the West.
This is a sacred hall. The soul of our nation lives between these walls. These walls tell the story of those intrepid Americans who gave everything, risked everything, and fought with everything they had to save their fellow warriors, and warriors they are, believe me, warriors they are, and to save our wondrous liberties, and to save this God-blessed land. They shed their blood and poured out the love from their hearts to protect our home. We are in awe of their valor, tremendous valor, and we pledge our dedication to every single family serving our country and our flag. That is why today I am signing 2 executive actions to ensure the sacrifices of our military are supported by the actions of our government, and they will always be supported by the actions of our government, believe me. First, I'm signing an executive action to begin a great rebuilding of the armed services of the United States, developing a plan for new planes, new ships, new resources, and new tools for our men and women in uniform, and I'm very proud to be doing that. As we prepare our budget request for Congress, and I think Congress is going to be very happy to see it, our military strength will be questioned by no one, but neither will our dedication to peace. We do want peace. Secondly, I'm establishing new vetting measures to keep radical Islamic terrorists out of the United States of America. We don't want them here. We want to ensure that we are not admitting into our country the very threats our soldiers are fighting overseas. We only want to admit those into our country who will support our country and love deeply our people. We will never forget the lessons of 9/11, nor the heroes who lost their lives at the Pentagon. They were the best of us. We will honor them not only with our words, but with our actions, and that's what we're doing today. I am privileged to be here with you, and I promise that our administration will always have your back. We will always be with you. And I just want to thank you very much. I want to just extend a very special congratulations to a great man, and that's Secretary Mattis. And I think he's going to lead us so brilliantly. He's a tremendous soldier, always has been. He's a general's general. Every general that I spoke to, I won't say that they all said, he's our favorite, but they did. He's our favorite. He's a special, special man. So I want to bless him, and God bless you, and God bless America. And Secretary Mattis, I have no doubt you're going to do an outstanding job. And thank you very much for accepting this responsibility. Thank you.
So, as you can see, President Trump has great intentions of enhancing our U.S. national security, and he is doing so with a rapid pace that is rightfully and well needed in this country right now in order to defend the little fly that ISIS is. I like to call them the fly. So this wasn't mentioned in the video in particular, but he did get a memo to the Secretary of Defense. I'm tripping all over my words today, excuse me for that. He did get a memo to the Secretary of Defense to develop a 30-day plan to defeat ISIS. Thank you. This has been long overdue for years and years. So, the SOD is retired Marine Corps General. He was confirmed member of the cabinet. He won the Senate 98-1. And it looks like he's going to be able to take care of this pretty well. He had an overwhelming vote in, and we're talking about Mr. James Mattis, Secretary of Defense. So I trust that he will take care of this adequately. I really do. I think Trump's picks for cabinet are remarkable, and I think they're going to do great things. I really believe in them. So, as for the executive actions that were addressed in the video we just saw, provided by, I believe, the Bloomberg report, We have the improvement of the armed services of the United States being provided by Trump. Now, this means better equipped defenses for the United States, which has been depleted over the last 8 years throughout the Obama administration. We're getting new planes, new ships, new resources, you name it, whatever's going to make us most efficient. And with the way that Trump negotiates, I'm sure we will get this equipment at the best rate humanly possible for our country. Thank you to Trump's great business skills and negotiation skills, which is why we so thoughtfully chose him as our President of the United States. And even better, Trump announced, and this has disappointed many, and I say even better because it is the most contentious issue, and in my opinion, it's better because it's well needed. He's established an executive order for new vetting and inspecting measures of refugees from select countries. It's also being called the immigration order. Now, it prohibits U.S. entry from 7 different countries temporarily. Mike Pence has called this a pause on immigration from select countries. Trump explained that these 7 countries have already been recognized by the Obama administration, I believe in 2011, as sources of terror, but yet there's an uprising that Trump has decided to take actually military action. See, Obama, he was always taking diplomatic action. Diplomatic action is what we call in political sciences a soft power. And soft power is great because it's not violent. But when soft power doesn't work, then hard power is necessitated. And hard power, an example of hard power, is military control. It is police action. And that's what Trump is introducing. He's introducing military action. He's introducing some hard power, which is what the U.S. needs. And he's introducing that by way of blocking immigration from the 7 countries that Obama diplomatically and officially already noted as terrorist threats over 5 years ago. And these countries are Iraq, Iran, Syria, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, and Sudan. They're still regarded as the Trump administration by sources of terror. Anyway, we got to take a quick break for commercials. I'll be right back with you to continue with the new executive orders.
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
El Rey in Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business, and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show, addressing the indoctrination of the American nation. As always, I'm your host, Katy Sissine. Now remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Katy, FYNTV. You can also email me with comments and suggestions, future stories you'd like to hear on the show at Katy at fetchyournews.com. And you can purchase merch on fetchyournews.com. We have lovely coffee cups like this you can see here to remind you of our infallible news program. Just kidding, we do make some mistakes. We are only human. But at least here, you know, we try our best and we do stay informed. So that's a plus. Now, back to the information, since we are an informed network. We were going over executive actions in the first part of the show. We did a briefing on the updates of the cabinet that I like to call the White House keeping updates, coined by Katy Sissine here. Hopefully no one else has already used that term. Now, the executive action that we're talking about right now is the new vetting inspection measures of refugees. It's also been called the Trump immigration order. Now, this has raised much debate and many more protests across the nation, and it has been called, notoriously been called, the Muslim ban. Now, I've got a caller on the line. He's a student from Kennesaw State University. He's in the Joel Katz Music and Entertainment Business Program. He's a junior. His name is Jesus Rubio. Let's put up the picture of Jesus and get him on the line. Hello, Jesus, you there?
Hey, Katy. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure.
Hopefully we can have you on later in the week to discuss the Berkeley protest.
Oh, of course.
If you're up for it right now, today we're discussing the new vetting and inspection measures of refugees, also called the immigration order. Now, this prohibits U.S. entry from 7 countries temporarily. I stated this in the last part of the show. I don't know if you were able to tune in Now, Trump explained these 7 countries have already been identified by the Obama administration as sources of terror. And the countries are Iraq, Iran, Syria, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, and Sudan. They're still regarded by the Trump admin as sources of terror, hence the reasoning for the vetting. And aside from the development of the vetting, as you probably already know, there's a pause on immigration. And the purpose of this temporary pause on immigration from these 7 countries is created in order to optimize the screening process and establish extreme vetting. This is reported by Pence to Sean Hannity very recently. Now, what do you think about this executive order? What's your perspective?
Well, before we start this, what I would consider a constructive dialogue,
I hope so.
By your presentation of this executive action, I can tell that, you're a bit supportive of it. So we'll start by just explaining what's really going on in the White House. First of all, I see that a lot of Trump supporters are proud to be Trump supporters. However, most of the actions taken are not by the man himself, nor any of the promises he actually made throughout his political campaign, I would say are actually his. There's a proven track record. You can watch any of the interviews of Donald Trump. Not more than maybe 10, 15 years ago, he was a deep liberal. I mean, you can honestly...
Well, Hillary Clinton used to be a Republican.
Okay, when she was in college. I'm talking about maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Well, before Trump ran for office 10, 15 years ago, yeah, but now he switched. So why is that relevant?
It's very relevant because it's not him that is making up all these excuses or executive actions. It's actually the man, Steve Bannon. Now, Bannon is a proud alt-right representative. He had his own news media that was extreme rightist. And so that whole sentiment has been created throughout the past 8 years of just Republican media brainwashing just one sliver of the American population and using scare tactics to kind of blame a lot of the problems going on in society right now towards Muslims. Now, the Muslim ban is kind of interesting to me just because it targets 7 countries, none of which were responsible for either 9/11 nor any terrorist attack within our own soil.
Right. But I think you need to consider some statistics here, if I can say that word. Statistics. Okay.
Hear me out. This whole argument is coming into full circle. The reason I'm mentioning that Donald Trump is not coming up with these executive actions is because, as you can tell, this ban is very...
it's very what?
It was created in a way that doesn't interfere with his own business relations.
It's not even a Muslim ban, though. That's just what the liberals are calling it.
Okay, you could also say that African Americans were not all slaves.
Did you know? Let me ask you.
But slaves were only African Americans.
Okay.
So when you say that it's not a Muslim ban, it's saying that not all the ones being banned are Muslim, which is also incorrect. The 7 countries are
Wait. Just let me stop you. Let me introduce a point. To help your argument get into full circle, I want to make sure you already know, before you bring this home, that the U.S. admitted its highest number of Muslim refugees on record in the fiscal year of 2016. We have been admitting more Muslim refugees than ever ever in the last few years, since 2013. Muslim refugees admitted in 2016, 12,500 from Syria, 9,000 from Somalia, 8,000 from Iraq on average. We admit a lot of Muslim refugees. In fact, most of our refugees are Muslim. And global deaths from terror are on the rise, and they've been exponentially increasing since 2011, even in the Western countries. And we just had an attack at a mosque in Quebec last week. And then an attack at the Louvre as well. I mean, with the attack on Canada, this is getting close to American soil. Too close for comfort. I mean, do you think that's maybe like a plot, by the government? Are you interested in conspiracies at all to help people accept Trump's new order? Or,
I'm not interested in conspiracies. I'm interested in facts. What makes liberals and conservatives, I feel like, comes from a place of morality. I'm a very inclusive person, so I feel like refugees who are being bombarded by their own government every single day do deserve to live a healthy and safe life. However, you feel a different way. You feel like these refugees should be stuck in their home countries to a horrible life, which they'll probably die being bombarded by their own government.
Wrong. Our forces would go over to their ground and help them on their domestic grounds. No, that's not what would happen. We wouldn't leave them destitute.
That is what's happening. And the thing is, Republicans are acting like these people are second class, like they don't deserve to have safety in their own countries. There is a reason why they're called refugees and not immigrants, because they're trying to escape their own countries. People don't want to talk about these things because it's not convenient to have them over here.
We have Red Cross facilities. What about the Red Cross facilities established all over the world? In order to mitigate crises such as civil war, which took place in Syria. Now, why can't we establish?
That is a temporary solution. These people are looking to actually live a life.
Putting them in our country is a short-term decision that will have long-term, potentially terrible impacts. If we get huge increase.
What's the terrible impact?
The terrible impact is that right now there's a religious war occurring in the Muslim community, in the Muslim world, which is a whole separate world.
So 5-year-olds should be in handcuffs. So 5-year-olds should get deported from here.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
5-year-olds should not be able to come into this country so that they can actually live. This is a life or death matter. Like, I don't think people realize the seriousness of this topic.
We have poverty. We have poverty within our nation. We have impoverished people that are already citizens of the United States. We have impoverished people that are already citizens. So why don't we take care of them first?
These are not Mexicans. You can't not just like deport them and then come back to their home country and be okay.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
The second that they come back.
It's openly known that we can
coming to this country and using up resources like it's some type of burden for taxpayers. But the reason they're coming to our soil is because they're fearing for their own safety. So if you take a second to step into a reality, then you might realize they actually have a reason to do what they're doing. Now, I'm not saying we have to home all these people, but the thing is, the conflict is just way too serious right now in the Middle East.
I mean, do you really feel like
at some point you have to have compassion for humanity, and I don't feel like you truly care about humans that are just not quote unquote American. That's what I feel like it comes down to.
Well, I think we're tired of just diplomatic action that we saw in the Obama administration. We're running out of time. I'm gonna have to get back to you like a little bit later this week on this issue, and we'll talk about the Berkeley protests because this has been,
Okay, but on one
debate.
When you say we, you're talking about just the conservative viewpoint. Trump just has the lowest approval ratings of any president in his first few weeks. I mean, this man has disapproval ratings of all sorts. Even Republicans are turning his back on him. So what I'm saying is this is an extreme way to deal with a problem.
I'm sure you've seen that advertised in the media, but have you seen all the great prospects for the economy now that he's in office? I mean, prospects for the stock market have skyrocketed. I mean, that's our wealth, that's our prosperity. What about that? Jesus, we're running out of time.
Is that really prosperity? Is that really?
That has a huge impact. The economy equals prosperity, which equals the ability to establish a more perfect union. Okay. We got to let you go, and we'll get back to you very shortly. Thank you, Jesus.
All right.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you so much. So as you can see, we have some very, very differing viewpoints on the college campus where I go to. That was a student from KSU, Mr. Jesus Rubio. We will have him back on later in the week. He's a very good debater. Now that's all I've got for Monday today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this eventful Monday Madness show. And please stay tuned in to the Katy Sissine show every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. on FYNTV. And follow me on Twitter at KatyFYNTV. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow.